Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wacky Ideologies. This episode, Avaritionism, or ego-Darwinism, which sums up pretty perfectly. It's a mix between egoism and social Darwinism, which I need to redo my video on social Darwinism, but the video on ego is up if you want to look that up. And yeah, basically, empathy is a spook. Murder is okay if it pleases you, and no government, of course. Now, of course, we know egoism is the true form of libertarianism, with no one to tell you. You do what you want as long as it's not immoral, such as infringing on another person's right to do what they want. Avaritionism is different from this because they say empathy, that's a spook. So feeling sympathy for other people shouldn't exist, which is why murder is okay in this society. Now, Avaritionism is basically murder ego, with social Darwinism believing that the top shall rise and everyone else should either die or fall behind, like let the people live who can live and won't die, means a lot of murder happens, a lot of pillaging, and just a lot of terrible stuff because it's a spook, and people should be able to do what they want. And one of the greatest sins that egoism tries to prevent is anarcho-capitalism. Because anarcho-capitalism, yeah, capitalism leads to greed, which leads to lesser fortunes for other people. But nah, social Darwinism has no problem with that, so naturally, Avaritionism has no problem with that either. Because, you know, it's only affecting those who are lesser than you, of course, obviously. Even though, hey, that's not such a good thing. So this also leads to kind of an anti-establishment capitalism series, where it's just ANCAP and capitalism gets robbed, like Robin Hood. And that's basically the belief is, hey, Robin Hood, we're good guys, aren't we? And then it's kind of like, no, you're not really, but they just take the food and give it to themselves, because they are better than everyone. As such, there are constant, improvements to trying to be better. Like, who can run fast enough to get the food? Who can kill the person who ran fast enough to get the food because they were slower? All of these examples are social Darwinism, which is just trying to take out society as a whole because they don't really like them, and why should we care? Because it's all a spook. Nothing is real. A spook is something that is terrible. So, empathy is a spook. But they do in fact hate social Darwinism, because social Darwinism requires a structure, an order to form around itself saying, hey, this person is in charge because he's the best. This leads to Avaritionism being like, you're not the best, anyone can prove, and so I'm going to kill anyone who tries to make government because government's a spook. And so, even though they're kind of related, they really don't like each other. Who do they like? The British Empire, of course. Who wouldn't love a colonizing power that showed who's better in the world because they had more advanced technology? And the British Empire doesn't really like Avaritionism because, you know, kind of recalls for less government. But they like the colonial stuff, though. They're happy with that to invade and take over lands. And just, that's their role with the British Empire. So, Avaritionism is kind of like anarcho-capitalism without the NAP, the Non-Aggression Pact. Because why would you care if someone's not you? A lot of times, ANCAPs say it's bad for business, but Avaritionism doesn't care about business, they just care about what's best for them. And business is booming when it's all about themselves. Everyone, thanks for watching this video. I don't know why it's pixelated. Yeah, this was a backup video I had for a while because plans fell through for my next video, which is gonna be up next week. But yeah, this was a backup video I had in store, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and watch some of my other stuff that wasn't as rushed if you want to see, especially my amazing video on Hamiltonism, which I'll link on the next slide. Napoleon Bonaparte would like you to click on the video on the left. If you don't want to follow the emperor who betrayed the republic, click on the video on the right. I love democracy.